he left and didn't say nothing to Gideon. So that night, the angel came back and said, now Gideon, I want you to get your daddy's other ox and go down. They had this big area, and all of the prostitutes hung out down there. And all of the wild, woolly folks hung out down there. You know, we have places like that the rough ones hang out at. And when we want to have a good time, we go down to the ruffian's house. And anybody know anything about that? But, well, we're going. But what happened is the angel came back to Gideon. Say, now, Gideon, you remember that vow you made? Say, now, this is the night that I want you to wait till all of the prostitutes get their man, and they go into they call it groves. They go into the grove and get ready for that sin. I want you to tear down the altar at the gate, and I want you to just tear everything down. And I want you to destroy everything. And Gideon was afraid for his father, so he waited till everybody went to bed, went to sleep. And he tore down the grove. And God told Gideon, say, now, I want you to wage war against, you know, they had this big high mountain. And when you got tired of somebody and you wanted all Israel to come together to help you, they had this big old horn that they would go up there and they would blow that horn. And Israel would come together at the foot of the mountain to find out who blew the horn, who blew the horn, and why did they blow the horn. And when they got down to the foot of the mountain, Gideon told them, say, now, Israel is God's people. We are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath. And we are going to wage war against the enemy. And you know, and they blew the horn, and the enemy got together, and they all met on the other side of the valley. And it was so many of them. I mean, the grass was covered with the enemy. The Bible say they were like grasshoppers out there. There were so many of them. And Gideon looked around, and all he had was 32,000 people. That was all he had. And the enemy had way more than that. They had more horses than that. All right. They could have just stampeded the horses and overrode them. So they was out there, and so it is, Lord, what in the world? Anybody ever asked the Lord, what in the world have I gotten myself into? When I stood up in the pulpit some years ago and told Bishop Payton the Lord had called me to preach, I didn't know what I was doing. Sister Ward didn't have no idea what Elder Ward was getting her into. And so he said, well, we'll give you a chance. I'll set you up a time to speak. And so, but that was what had happened to Gideon. And so Gideon told the Lord, he counted the folks. That's one thing God don't like. God don't like you counting what you got and what you don't have. He don't like you comparing what you got against what somebody else has. he gets angry when you do that. So Gideon counted the folks, and he had 10 captains. So I want you all to count the folks and see how many we got. So they counted them, and they had 32,000. And so God told him, say, Gideon, you got too many folks. I can't bless you with this many folks. And so he said, what? And so he said, well, all right. He said, you tell them, everybody that is afraid, tell them they can go back home. And I won't feel bad about it. We won't judge them. You know, and so 22,000 of them went back home. You know, they didn't have a 32,000, and 22,000 of them turned tails and ran home. When they got back home, he told the 10 captains, they count them again and see how many we got left. And they just had 10,000 men to fight against the Midianites, the Amalekites, the Hittites, all of the types were there. You know, and so he said, now 10,000 people. He said, Lord, say now, if you want me to, I'm willing to die for you. I promise I'll die for you. And so I'm going to die for you. Say now, all I want you to do, I just want to make sure. Everybody ever made a bargain with God. And Lord, I just want to make sure this is what you want me to do. If you don't want me to do it, you let me know and I'll change my mind. You know, we always put that if. If it's the Lord's will, I'll do such and such a thing. Now, if you got the courage, and if you believe in God, you'll do it.
Oh, yeah.
Amen. It's not by power,